Porsche GT3 RS has been one of the finest, if not the finest, street-legal track cars since it entered production back in 2003. And while Porsche has stuck to the same recipe for the GT3 RS since its inception, the latest update shows us that Porsche has thrown that recipe out the window, and everything is about to change. The standard RS update usually includes a modest horsepower increase to the naturally aspirated engine, some weight reduction, more advanced aerodynamics, better brakes, and modified suspension. But with the latest RS, Porsche is cranking up the power, aerodynamics, and cooling to levels that go way beyond any previous RS update. But not everyone is going to be excited about some of the changes Porsche is making.
What you talking about, Willis?
For the hardcore Porsche fans that are keeping track, this will be the 992.2 Series GT3 RS, and the latest prototype is almost unrecognizable from the previous one.
I can't believe this is the same car.
And now we can see completed rear fenders and a rear fascia, a new exhaust system, a redesigned intake, and what is most likely a completed front fascia that is being concealed by camouflage, which means we might be getting an official reveal sooner than expected.
All right.
So let's look at the latest prototype in autistic detail and see just how extreme this car is going to be. Although the front is completely concealed, there's plenty of clues that tell us about the new design. This angle shows us some surprising details like the exposed metal support rods that keep the front splitter from flexing, a new air scoop hidden at the top of the main intake, two new vents in the hood with raised deflectors that most likely vent the air pulled in by the aforementioned air scoop, and the larger louvered vents above those are carried over from the previous RS, but they look to be more recessed to reduce drag. Artificial intelligence doesn't love Porsches, but I do. And if you enjoy Porsche content that was researched, written, and edited by an actual human being who has been passionate about Porsches since they were a toddler, then click below to subscribe to this channel for more human-produced Porsche content. This angle shows us two extremely large intakes that most likely cool the brakes, and also a new headlamp design that appears to be completely unique to this car. The shrouding on the front is most likely concealing a new vertical winglet and a set of canards, but a new front splitter is clearly on display. From the profile view, we get a better look at the exposed support rods at the front and the new vents in the hood. We can also see the much larger intakes in the rear quarter panels, and the rear quarter window has some obvious extra tinting. Porsche is either trying to hide their new carbon fiber roll cage, or they could potentially be developing equipment to support a new intake system like the one found on the GT4 RS. At the rear is where we see most of the modifications, and there's some crazy things going on here, including a few features that have never been on a 911 before, like these vents around the license plate and these two openings in the new diffuser, which we'll come back to. Looking at this car from the rear, it's obviously the whitest street-legal 911 ever built. Porsche doesn't even have wheels in their arsenal wide enough to fill the new fenders. At the outer edges of the fascia, we see a new set of vents to cool the turbos, which are reminiscent of the vents on the previous GT2 RS. And below those look to be two more vents, but these could just be temporary details on the shroud covering the actual bodywork with no outlets behind them. The swan neck vertical supports have a slightly lower profile, and taking a page from the Manti racing kit, the enormous rear wing now has a third horizontal element. This prototype looks to be carrying over the deck lid from the last GT3 RS, but given Porsche's focus on cooling for this car, an updated deck lid will most likely be appearing on future prototypes. And the bottom of the car is the subject of much mystery and debate. A new rear fuser is extremely wide and features much less aggressive air vanes, but what's got everyone talking are those round openings at the outer edges. It's being reported that these are additional engine exhaust tailpipes, and while I can't say that they're not, it seems like there are much more simple ways to vent additional engine exhaust gas, like larger diameter exhaust pipes, additional piping running alongside the existing pipes, or quad tail pipes, but I would think that the openings are most likely venting for the turbos. At this point, it's a big mystery, but if any of you think you know what those openings are for, I would love to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments. Another element that is somewhat curious is this plastic molding over the Porsche lettering. On prototypes, Porsche usually just puts a black piece of tape over the letters, but this time they've installed a plastic piece that's been specially fitted. This might be because they thought the tape wouldn't stay on during the snow testing, or there's something new and much more complicated going on here, perhaps an additional venting system. So what will the latest GT3 RS look like once it's finished? I modified this image to show the larger intake in the rear 3/4 panels. I also added a vertical winglet and canards to the front fascia, and I extended the front splitter. I also added an intake to the rear 3/4 windows, similar to what is found on the GT4 RS, and I added some cooler wheels, but I'm sure the final version will have wheels similar to what is fitted on the prototype. The latest GT3 RS won't be revealed for several months, but you know what's available right now? Porsche art prints from Arc Driver Photography. These unique Porsche art prints are a great way to improve the aesthetics in any room in your house, and a great way to help support this channel. They feature museum quality printing on heavy duty paper that has a partly glossy and partly matte finish. You can check out the entire collection by clicking on the link in the description below. Now it's time to talk about the powertrain. We know this car is going to be turbocharged. What? What the fuck? But there's also been some talk about it using the 3.6 liter hybrid setup from the latest Turbo S.
Okay, alright, that's okay.
But it's safe to say the hybrid rumors are not going to be happening, because from looking at the exhaust setup, we know that Porsche is not using the Turbo S powertrain, and it's most likely it will still be packing the GT3 engine. And if some of you are thinking that this might be the new GT2 and are still holding out hope for a naturally aspirated GT3 RS, I was right there with you, but then I compared the rear of the latest GT3 RS prototype to the rear of the latest GT2 RS prototype, and the different exhaust setups make it clear that one of these is the GT3 RS and the other is the GT2 RS. And in this image, the GT2 RS has been fitted with fake tailpipes, and the real ones are hidden behind some meshing here. Now, as far as horsepower for the new RS, the sky is really the limit. Porsche rates the current GT3 at 502 horsepower, and a turbocharger or two could add anywhere from 50 to 500 additional horsepower.
Say hello to my little friend!
Companies like 99F, Gennady, and Signature Motorsports all offer turbocharging kits for the current GT3 engine, so we know it can be done. But the final horsepower number just depends on what Porsche wants to accomplish with this car. Or should I say, it depends on who Porsche wants to beat with this car. The Corvette ZR1X has been crushing GT3 lap records, and I'm sure that the mighty GT3 RS being beaten by Chevy has been a constant pain point for Porsche.
Look how they mess with my boy.
So I would bet money that their main goal for the new RS is to be faster around a racetrack than the ZR1X. And it's safe to say that Porsche is not developing the new GT3 to take back the Nürburgring lap record from Mercedes, because that is the job of the GT2 RS. Or maybe a GT2 RS that's been modified by Manthey Racing. Now, to beat the ZR1X, the new GT3 RS will need improved aerodynamics, which it clearly has, and it probably wouldn't need more than an additional 100 horsepower. And the last time Porsche came out with the new GT3 RS, it only had a measly 16 horsepower more than the standard GT3.
Which I admit is both bogus and sad.
So we shouldn't be expecting the new RS to produce monster levels of power. Probably something closer to 600 horsepower. The bigger numbers are being reserved for the GT2 RS.
He ain't lying.
And as far as the transmission, at this point, any hope for a manual should be long gone.
It might happen. Yeah, And monkeys might fly out of my butt.
as the last time Porsche put a manual transmission in a GT3 RS was way back in 2011. So don't expect anything other than a PDK.
Don't be looking at me like that, all right? I can feel your look.
So now the big questions are, when will it be revealed? How much will it cost? And will you be able to buy one?
Well, are you gonna go for it?
The latest prototype was caught doing winter testing, which indicates that Porsche is getting close to the end of their testing cycle. The final phase of testing will be setting an official Nürburgring lap time, which will be weather dependent. And the best month for this tends to be May. So we can expect Porsche to start dropping teasers for the new GT3 RS this spring, and then a potential reveal sometime around June.
Back it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh!
And how much will it cost? You don't want to know.
What's the retail on one of those?
More than you can afford, pal.
Porsche has been raising their prices for the 911 every few months, and every time they introduce a new trim other than the base, they act like it's the most exclusive car ever made. And then of course, we can't forget about the dealerships with their six-figure market adjustment fees.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
And not only will these three trends continue for the new car, they will be amplified.
This can't be happening.
And if you really and truly want to know just how expensive the new GT3 RS is going to be, all you have to do is look at current dealership prices for the last GT3 RS. Even though the base price for these is $250,000 and the car was introduced nearly 4 years ago, dealerships are asking as much as $580,000 for used ones.
You know, you're like, come on, man. You know, like, come on.
So as far as price for the brand new GT3 RS with options and dealership fees, if you want one during the first year of deliveries, expect to be paying close to $800,000.
Yeah, well, that ain't nothing but a thing.
And after all of the hype dies down a year or two later, you might be able to get one for closer to $600,000.
Stop torturing yourself, man. You'll never afford it. Live in the now.
And if you do have the money, just how difficult will it be to purchase one? Well, if you're not one of Porsche's special top-tier customers, you will have no chance of purchasing one for the first 2 years. I mean, you might be able to find a dealership that tells you if you purchase 5 Taycans, they might consider selling you one.
You play ball? We play ball.
But unless you're ready to do something stupid like that, you will be waiting at least a couple years after delivery to get one.
What a pity. What a pity.
So even though this car will be out of reach for most of us, it will still be exciting to see all of the camouflage come off and learn just how fast it will be around a racetrack. And I'm personally looking forward to hearing about all of the absurd prices people who will never take this car on a track are going to be paying.
Well, I pity the fool that makes that mistake.
Because the investor market for limited production Porsches has gotten so out of control that the only thing a not special Porsche customer like myself can do is just sit back and grab a box of popcorn. Thanks for watching, and for more Porsche content that you cannot find anywhere else, click here to subscribe.